Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Howdy.
Howdy. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I nearly said Wednesday.
Nope. Firmly on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. I've got my Coke Zero in my mug again because Holly won't let me have the can, but I really was thirsty.
You're ruining the aesthetic.
Cheers. It's really weird drinking that one.
I've got my second,
She's reusing the tea bag.
Yeah, I reuse my tea bags all morning. It's a herbal tea. It's not a normal tea.
Is it Twinings? Is it expensive?
I don't know.
Are you stressed?
Mum,
getting your money's worth.
My mum, she might kill me for this. She reuses hers.
Like normal tea bags?
No.
Herbal.
Peppermint, Twinings.
I think it's nice because then you're like, oh, I'm done with this one now. I'm not getting much flavour.
Yeah.
But apparently...
Is it not the equivalent of putting chewing gum back in your mouth after you've finished?
No, it's quite good because apparently you're supposed to drink, according to Chinese medicine.
Oh, go on.
You're supposed to drink hot water and it's good for women.
Hot water is. Yeah, so a diluted herbal tea.
Hot things.
Yes.
It's good for to keep your system
Oh,
moving
yeah,
and
they don't like
everything.
cold drinks.
Yeah.
It's Chinese medicine is very anti-ice
So I
and
always try
cold
and
drinks.
literally I
Really
will drink
bad for
this
you.
before water.
Yes.
If I'm I just don't feel like that, then I'll drink water.
Right, okay.
But I just keep
You'll
topping
try
this
and
up all
drink
day.
hot water
Yeah.
as much as you can.
Yeah. And
I'll bear that in
also,
mind as I'm consuming my chemicals.
and the amount of herbal teas that I drink as well. I'll go through 3 boxes a week.
You're very
really?
herby.
Yeah, very herby.
I need to pull back on the breakfast tea.
Why?
Because I feel like I have too many of them. I have maybe
but it's
3
like
normal
water
a
and
day
milk.
and then a decaf at night.
Easily.
My
That's
nan and
not-
granddad
that's
have
normal.
3 cups of tea before breakfast.
Okay, I'm fine.
I have done that.
And
I
they're great. They're great. So
I
I'm
can
fine.
fully understand that they could do that. But there's the minute you open your eyes, it's I'm going for one.
Absolutely chaining it.
Chaining it.
Give me another one.
That's not too bad. It's if you're having 2 biscuits with everyone that you might
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't really
That was
like
our nan.
biscuits.
She used to go make a cup of tea in the morning, and then she'd have I'll have a biscuit with my brew. Whereas actually, she'd have 6 in a dressing gown pocket.
Yeah.
and then
She
put
left
them
it
on.
alone, like she was hiding it from herself.
It's why are you secret eating yourself? We all do it.
Custard creams.
Yeah, for me, a
Custard
normal
creams.
tea is just a dip for a
Yeah,
biscuit.
it's a vehicle
Yeah.
for your biscuits.
Yeah, for soggy biscuits. Just an excuse to eat soggy biscuits, really.
My toddler was dipping his biscuit in his blackcurrant the other day.
Oh,
I
my kids
used to do that. I
that.
used to do that.
My
with
mum does it with
orange
peppermint
cordial.
tea.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
not?
No.
My mum dips
No.
her
Just
biscuits in
dirty.
herbal tea.
I did once, and it was mint chocolate, but I'm not a mint chocolate fan.
No, it's all wrong.
Maybe that's where they got the idea from.
Ew.
God,
Hey-ho.
count the amount of episodes I've spoken about tea.
It's meant. It needs to be talked
speak
about.
about tea
It
every
deserves
day.
it.
Every day.
Okay, controversial opinion time. We should be allowed to say no to hen dos with no issues.
No is a complete sentence. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
No. Full stop.
I like what you did. It's hen do season as well.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
Yeah.
the time.
It's upon us.
I feel like we were talking about this the other day, Hol. Do you remember when you were talking about your hen do where I peaked? I planned it. We were early 20s. We had a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, nothing else going on in our life. And she's like, I would never. And I was like, I would never again. I don't know the time. It didn't feel like it was a lot of work, but the
Life admin
around
element attached to hen
never
dos
mind
is
of you.
I feel like it's planning a
Beyond.
mini wedding.
yeah. It is. I went to football practice with one of the mums the other day, and she's going on someone's hen do, and she's my age, I think, mid-30s, late 30s. And the the admin that goes that she's on Zoom calls with people. Oh my god! With the maid of honor.
Like an AI note taker.
There's spreadsheets. There's
Yeah, I can imagine though, because everyone's busy. So how would you remember everything?
there's arguments.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Between people
Oh my
because
God.
they're arguing about how much we should spend on this and should we pay for the hen and should we go do an abroad one? How many nights are we going for? Well, I'm flying from this. Well, I'm flying from this one, and
Yeah.
I don't want to
Oh my
travel
God.
there. And
You'd need an
the
event
bride shouldn't
planner.
have to do anything. And there are arguments, and she's like, I can't. She's got 3 kids and a job, and she's like, I'm literally on Zoom calls at night arguing with other people about this hen do and how
Oh
much
my
we're going to
God.
spend and should we get personalised things. And she's like, I don't mind doing
so
it.
many
It's
different
20 quid each.
emotions, aren't there? Because if people get married at different ages,
Yeah.
you
Get
could
married
have been
again.
the person going to everyone's hen do, paying all the money. You finally get married and everyone's tired.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going away.
There
I
is
can't afford it.
there is a danger of that in your 30s if you've been there, done that, been to all the hens, like Laura said, turning up, outfits, holidays, and then it gets to, you know, I've got 2 kids, like you've more responsibility with your job, you've got more outgoings because you've got a mortgage. It actually can sometimes feel a bit painful. Whereas in your 20s, it's like, we're going on a hen do.
I do think it's the same answer if it's hen do or if it's event, like
Yeah,
Baby
like
shower
big birthday,
event. Yeah.
like, oh, it's my
40th.
first.
because
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do you usually do? I do think part of that is the person whose event it's for, your closeness to them, your relationship with them, you know, that does play a part. It does. It doesn't mean you have to go, but it should influence it. But then it's also like, yeah, do you want to? Can you financially afford it? All these other things. Because we are really good at coming up with ways of saying no. Like, we're here for it. If you want help saying no to
Oh, I've
something.
got all day.
Holly would just
All day.
they
I'll
know.
take the call.
But Lucy
Pass
and
it over.
Lucy and I will come up with like a longer
Yeah, you need a
explanation
big
of
excuse.
why you don't
There's
have
been
to.
a fire.
Yeah.
Let me help you. No.
I just need to stay home and sort it out myself.
No.
Sorry.
Just no.
Because there's we always joke the hibernation versus like party. But there's a scenario where hen do, I'm trying to think of someone in our, because Ria's got married now, so who's not? I'm trying to think about someone who is in a close circle and they say, we're doing a hen weekend and we're going to go to Marbella. I'm going to make it up. And actually, I might be like, I could do with some sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with them.
You
They're the
are fun
best
all the time.
Yeah,
It's not for like a week
No.
and da. But I am going to cap it if you get crazy and want money for this and money for that, and we don't need a table here and we don't need that.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do? Because I want to know before I commit so that you can't blindside me with some random, you know, there's peanut straws on one end, but there's, can I have 150 quid each for a bed on the
that's-
other end?
I think that's the
Can I know my
problem.
parameters?
Yeah, you don't want to be that. It's always like you don't want to be that person in the WhatsApp group. So how much is it going to be? Like, oh, I've got a budget. Like, I get
Oh, I
it.
do
You
have
don't
a
want to
budget.
be
I'm
that
that
person. Like,
Typically,
because you
you
do
wouldn't
feel
want
like
to
you
be.
might
Yeah.
be judged. But then at the same time,
Everyone's wondering those questions. So like,
yeah, be the
everyone's
person.
thankful.
Good, yeah,
Yes,
be the
when they do.
person,
But then
ask
you've
what-
also got the person that does the, oh, I hope you don't mind. I've bought all these personalised
Just transfer me 10 quid
headbands.
each.
We did like an Instagram prompt a few weeks ago, and it was like, have hen do's gone crazy or something.
Yes.
Somebody said that the maid of honor tried to kick them off the hen because they refused to spend £25 on a sash.
what the hell?
Tried to
Sash.
kick them off. Get out the group.
Make your
Why are
own
you spending
Without
sash.
a
25
drought.
quid on a sash? You can get them from like Shein, and I don't condone this at all, for like £2. Like,
But this
who's
is where
paying
people go
£25
rogue.
on a sash?
But it's when people
Yeah.
go rogue
Yeah.
and go, I've done a thing.
They just get excited.
yeah.
If you're the maid of honor, it's your time to shine. Everyone's looking at you and you want to go down in history as the best maid of honor ever. But people in that group aren't the number one friend. Like, they're the number 12 friend, and they don't want to spend £300.
That's so true.
It's
It
really
needs to be-
difficult. It's really difficult.
And that's why, like, sometimes, like, people, I love the options of, like, I don't mind if someone has 2, if someone has a home one and an away one. I'm
Yeah.
all right with that. But like I said, there could be a scenario where it works for you to do it. It could be a scenario where you want to do it, but you can't afford it. So I want to go and I can afford it. So you need to know what's going to be involved. I want to go. I can't afford it. I'm really sorry. So I don't think there's a way I can do this on a budget. So I'm not going to come, have the best time. We'll go out for a nice dinner. We'll do whatever. Or there's just, no thanks.
I don't like organised fun, because why do people always ruin hen do's by going, at 9 a.m. we're going to do this, and
that's
at
my worst
9:30
nightmare.
we're going to do this.
I mean, you
and
are
then
the queen
can
of
I have a
schedules.
scheduler, but
not when it's like, and then we're going to do a quiz, and then we're going to do
No, I
pin the
don't like
penis on the
organised
stripper,
fun.
and then we're going to do this.
I
Like,
just like organising.
yeah. But
I don't
that-
like organised fun though.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I like knowing
It's
when
too
things are going to
cringy.
happen,
I
but
just
like
don't- I'm like,
activities.
Yeah.
Remember to put the lids back on the pen.
Giving Monica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're off schedule, then like you're
I
off
don't, but I
schedule.
don't also mind a good planner. If someone's good at planning stuff and logistics, and I appreciate that person, because I'm so not them. I would be for my
Yeah.
best friend, but if it were, you appreciate the person that's super organized. I've got us a really good hotel. We're only 5 minutes
Yeah.
walk from
Oh my
this.
God.
I'm all for
Yeah,
those
yeah.
Take my
people.
money.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are-
But not the ones that are like, we're going to do craft
Controlling
at
every
this
tiny
time.
detail.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to, if you've got a good bunch of girls in the same room that have a good crack, you'll have a fantastic time no matter
Yeah.
what.
This is
So-
where like men have it good, right?
Oh, this
because
turn up.
they're just so. Do you not agree, Lucy? Like, you looked at me like, but like they're serendipitous. So they don't get
Just
me wrong. They
go
miss out on
with
some
the
of the
flow.
optimistic. Sorry, they missed out on some of the planned fun that like. Imagine they just go, should we just grab some food? Rather die. No, we need to plan
We've
it
got
for
a
months.
table. We're going to sit. We've requested this booth. Like
I
the
do like
sunsets
that.
at this time for pictures. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah.
love being a girl.
Kill me
in-
now. I don't. I'd rather
in
go with
that
the blokes.
aspect.
I do. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
It's but like, let us just breathe.
Schedule
and
in
organic.
breath.
Schedule in the organic.
I need to sit on the balcony in my towel with some
Lay's
Pringles.
and Fanta lemon. Okay, let a girl live.
But it doesn't have to be like,
Yeah, Neil's stag do's that he goes on. It's like I'm like, what's the plan? He's like, we
get
turn up at the
smashed.
airport. This time we fly to Hamburg. And what are you going to do when you're there?
What are you
Dunno.
gonna eat?
There's like a street of bars that's like quite good. I'm like, and where are you going for dinner? I don't know. I'm like, I'll probably have a kebab or something. What? You're flying to Hamburg? There's going to be an amazing restaurant.
Not looked at the menus.
Yeah.
you've not already picked what you
Oh,
want.
that is
Yeah.
so financial of us. If any of us are going out at any one time, the rule is that you have to
In
share
a
the
Slack
menu.
chat. We've
and
got
then
a chat called #food.
we have, and we share with each
So
other
good.
if we were coming with you, what we would have at that meal. And it helps inspire the others as well. If someone's feeling a bit overwhelmed with the menu, or like, well, I would have this, and someone will go, okay, I'm
I
going
feel
to have
like
that.
you needed that, Lydia, ahead of like, it was quite a big, you were going out for a meal
a
and it was
big
quite
menu.
a lengthy
Yeah,
Oh, I
menu.
hate a big menu.
Yeah.
And we were all overwhelmed actually, but we soldiered on and we all picked what we would have. And you said it helped you on the night.
did. It
Yeah,
really
it did
did,
do. Yeah, God, Hen Do. Oh, like I just think a blend of the two. We did go off. I dragged us off topic with the men versus women, and men have a much more chill time when it comes to like events and stuff. But look, it doesn't matter if it's a Hen Do or not. It's an event. Have the confidence
Yeah.
to say no.
Confidence
Yes,
and conviction.
yes, but a little bit. Oh God.
it's always such
It
a
is Hen Do
divisive
season,
topic.
though.
It is.
It's Hen Do season, and it's like, all right, we're on the seasoned end of we've been to lots of them.
Yeah.
Holly's not. Holly says no to a lot of them.
Good
Duck,
case study.
dive,
I don't
and
think I've
weave.
been to one abroad, actually. Abroad.
All my
God,
friends
that's
are
so normal.
single, literally like
Yeah, but it's going to
they're all
happen.
feral.
Good luck. Because it's coming for you.
Yeah.
If they're all single now, it means you've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
That's all I would say. What?
Exciting times. Okay, first dilemma. Very apt.
Oh, no, it's not a Hen
We need
Do
some
one.
Hen Do advice here. How do I stop my sister's Hen Do from sending us into debt?
Ooh.
Oh, I've not heard this angle actually before.
Okay. Any advice on Hen Do's, or is what I view as ridiculous just the norm now? A couple of months ago, I had to say no to a Hen Do that was going to cost over £450 for 3 days in Budapest, just for flights and accommodation. So there's going to be a load of spends on top of that as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Like that's the
minimum.
minimum
Yeah, yeah.
cost. But she said no. That was good. I'm early 30s, and most of my friends who are married did so just after uni, so we kept the Hen Do's and stag do's as cheap as possible. I was the only one in this group who refused due to cost, and it caused a bit of an upset with the bride. I was a bit surprised because I reckon I'm probably one of the highest earners of the group of 18, and I'm the only one who withdrew. I genuinely have no idea how some of our friends are affording it. Now my sister is getting married, and she's being an absolute nightmare. She wants me to organise the Hen Do with the other 2 bridesmaids, and whilst one is pragmatic like me, the other is all, it's her special day every time we try and bring finances into it. Apparently the hen isn't supposed to pay for anything, so my sister doesn't care about the cost at all. Oh my God. The bridesmaid said if people care about her, they'll make it work. I don't want to book this ridiculously priced Hen Do when it will be at best a hit on my finances, but I know lots of her friends will be going into debt to attend. How do I navigate this without coming across as a sourpuss? I want her to have a good time, but I hate this pressure that people feel to just agree to ludicrously priced Hen Do's, and I don't want to add to the problem. Oh, and just to add, our mum doesn't want to go on the Hen Do, totally fine by us, but my sister has said I should pay for me, her, our mum, and the groom's mum to have a spa day. Another cost I just don't think is fair, especially as our mum isn't the type to even like spa days and is happy enough just to come to the wedding day. Is all of this behaviour just normal now, and should I just suck it up? I feel like I'm the only one finding this all a bit mad. That's insane.
That is not normal. I'm just going to put it out there. I've never come across, of all the like weddings we've been involved with and stuff, I've never heard someone so demanding and out of touch. And
This is why bridezilla's a word.
Yeah. The bride is demanding, and she's also got like a very demanding bridesmaid. She's
Bridesmaidzilla.
She's put her in charge for a reason.
They're egging each other on.
Mm-hmm.
it's not okay.
Bet they've got a text between them, like,
You've got a side
my
group.
God.
Let them have a side group.
And like the separate, so you could just pay for us to have a
That's insane.
The mum doesn't want to go to a spa
day.
The mum's called Carol. I'm going with Carol. We'll go and have a brew somewhere. I don't like it. I always laugh
don't like
when
spas.
people plan spa days.
No, I don't
Although
like
Laura did pay for me to go on a spa day once, and I actually had a fantastic time. It was
That was-
years ago
that was
now.
the last time we went.
Yes.
10 years ago.
I don't like being touched, so I'm with the bride's mum. I'm with the bride's mum. We'll go and have a brew somewhere. They can all go on the spa day. That is paid for individually by them if they want to go. What happened to... So she doesn't want to come on the Hen Do. So anyway, so there's always a... So if she doesn't want to come, so we'll do A. They can't come, so we'll do A. No.
And listen, I feel like I've heard the paying for the bride thing, and I've
never heard that. Did I pay for mine? So when I was listening to the story, I was going to be like, that is ludicrous. And then I was like, it was so long ago now, over 10 years. Did I pay? I hope I did.
I don't know, but it's also about cost effectiveness, right? So, for example, I would like to think that because I had a bridal shower, I don't have a Hen Do. I'd like to think that you asked Carl for 100 quid or 50 quid or whatever.
No, I didn't, but I will now.
So, no, that's me.
I'm invoicing you.
I'm invoicing you then, and you got married 10 years ago, so I want interest on that money, so back off. But it's different. I think that, we're going out for a meal and we pay for the bride. I'm here for it. I do like that.
Yeah, I
think
get
that's
that.
fine. We're going to Spain and we're going to pay for the bride. No. Like she might never pay for a drink the whole holiday. Like between all of you, if it's enough of you,
I
it's
agree.
in contemplation.
If it's a holiday,
I would feel
flights,
so
accommodation.
uncomfortable if I was the bride.
Yeah, I'd be like, so how much do I owe? I've got a sinking fund ready to go.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything. I'd be like, no. Who's going to pay for it then?
So the spa thing, weird. Not in any scenario. It's nothing. Again, there's nothing wrong with. We're going to do something different as a family.
Whatever.
That we all pay for ourselves,
Yeah.
and so then put your money where your mouth is. And if you don't want to do it, you don't do it. But what do you think
I've never heard anything like
about
this before.
what does she do with this?
I think we need to get Mum
rein her
involved.
in.
I think
tell Mum.
I'm going to tell mum of you.
You're being a
Works
baby.
every
Lydia.
time.
I think it's so toxic that they've said if people care about her, they'll make it work.
Yeah,
that's
that's
bad.
ridiculous.
That's so bad.
You don't know what's going on in someone's life, financially, mentally. Some people, when I see a lot of people pulling out of things because of kids, like whether they use them as an excuse or it's a genuine thing, like I actually can't come because I don't have anyone to look after the kids. I'm a single
Babysitting, you have
mum.
credits,
Yeah,
right?
you have
We always
credits.
talk about this.
It's valuable.
Whether, some families get more credits than others. It all depends on your dynamics. But we sit there and go,
We have to plan.
I'm not going to use my credits for this because what that means is I don't want to take the piss and ask my family all the time to look after children. So we don't. So we have someone spotted actually my eagle eye babysitting. I shared my sinking funds and we've got a babysitting sinking fund. We've got a really, really good babysitter. So that costs money every time. So when we have certain events with certain friends, it's a perfect way to not put the burden on grandparents who already help so much with I call that practical childcare. Like it's, can you look after, like our mum has always looked after ours on a Monday. So I get a full day's worth of childcare for her that I have never had to pay for. So I'm not about to say every Friday night, can me and Carl go do blah, 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 blah. So if we have a special occasion, especially if it's going to be a later night, then getting a babysitter, it feels much better for us. And that's what we choose to do. And we don't do that a lot. So then we have to say no.
Credits.
You have to know when you're going to say. So sometimes people are saying no financially, and we want you to say no financially. The wider thing you actually asked about was she knew that people were going into debt for this. And this is because as part of, think about all the things you have to plan for financially, like the sinking funds that we're talking about, Christmas and your own holidays, the things that you would like to do, whether you're saving up for a house, whether you're paying off debt yourself. Why should in your sinking funds there be a friend A hen do, friend A wedding, friend
That's what I'm saying,
B
we talked about the wedding.
hen do, friend B wedding.
Yeah.
Like, it's just preposterous.
And there's so many hidden costs for women as well. Like we mentioned about men just turning up for a stag do.
Oh, they're not buying anything
If you're
new.
going on a beach city break,
Yeah,
you're not
you're
telling me
getting-
that you're not going to feel compelled to buy a new outfit, or that you need to have a fake tan,
Full holiday,
or you need,
pre-holiday glow up.
literally you need to get your eyebrows done. I need to get my
Oh God,
nails
the
done.
men have got a wheelie suitcase.
Literally
Yeah,
just turn up and
literally.
hope
Two
there's something in
t-shirts,
there,
and they
and
still
you're
wear the same
looking
thing
at
all
the
day.
change the boxes the whole
They might not
time.
do,
Yeah,
they might wear
literally.
swim shorts.
If I get married, I think I'll have a stag.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'll
God,
come with you,
yes.
Lydia. I'm there.
Sounds
Consider me
fun.
there. Like airport
Can we
money.
have really bad food?
Yeah.
Airport money.
Awful food.
You're not telling me.
Airport money. Oh
Like-
my God, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
money.
cocktails, or like, let's get a bottle. Like, it's
Let's get a champagne.
it's high. It's all heightened.
Yeah,
isn't
it is.
I think you need to kind of rally the other girls a little bit. Be like, right, seriously, like, can you afford this? Or like,
As the sister though.
like, yeah, but you just
I'm going to start
Well,
a
just
group
be like,
chat
I've
with all
spoken
your
to
friends.
your friends. I've spoken to your
Yeah,
friends,
and
and
they're
they're
not
struggling
comfortable. Okay.
for your hen do.
Ooh,
Like, you're
yeah.
putting them in an uncomfortable position. You're just gonna have to be brutal. Sure, you can do that if it's your
Yeah, but when
sister.
it's someone's wedding, the like emotions are high, aren't they? If you're a
But you're gonna have
bride,
to do it. I
you're
was
like,
chatting
it's
to,
all
um,
about me.
I was chatting to a friend of mine who went to a wedding last weekend, and she was saying it's her cousin that's getting married, and her cousin's the bride.
Okay.
They were getting married at, what's it called, where the coach houses? Where you-
Middleton Lodge.
Yeah, Middleton Lodge.
Stunning
getting married
venue.
there. Yeah.
Stunning. Been to a
So
wedding there.
UK
Stunning.
wedding. The grandma wasn't invited. Grandma gets on well with them all, is of good health. The nana wasn't invited to the wedding.
Nana's
was like-
make weddings.
Nana is the I mean,
main character.
and my other friend that was there, who was like, she's amazing. Like, she's very Scouse, very family focused. She was like, the nana. Like, what? She was appalled. She was like, no, I'm not going. And Nana's not
far.
going. And like I said, Nana, big part of the family.
Why didn't Nana go?
We don't like, I was like, I said, I'm being careful not to say
really
names. And I said to my friend, I was like, and did none of you say, like, did your dad not say, well, obviously
Yeah.
mum's going to his sister? And I was like, no, they're scared of the bride. And the bride requested people wear outfits that
No.
were not above the knee, but not full length, so that they looked like they were part of the wedding party. Because then there was an auntie that showed my friend a dress, and she was like, auntie, you can't wear that.
Oh my God, that'd be my
And they
worst
all got a
nightmare.
table at the very back, nowhere near everyone. Nana not there. Oh, and then there was a speech which was like, oh, it's really sad that Nana couldn't be with us. And I was like, I hope you stood up and went,
She's not dead.
She is fine and well at home down the road.
She's FaceTiming us now.
Yeah, I'm actually live streaming this.
But we were talking about how it snowballed, and a little bit of fucking power, a little bit of,
Yeah, that's insane.
I want this and I want this. Like, these people just need reining and going, I know you're the main character,
But not that main character.
No.
But also,
Calm
like,
yourself.
No.
Yeah, be like, I'm going to 4 other weddings this year.
Yeah.
Calm yourself down.
Yeah.
I mean, this
that be
could be a
bad?
sister fallout, couldn't it?
This could be a sister fault only because it's
Really?
the emotions do run very high. It genuinely is really stressful to plan a wedding. It is. It's all consuming. I saw it's Sophie Hibu and Jamie Lang like on
Oh,
their
yeah.
podcast. They did one with Olivia Atwood and her husband,
Oh, I
and
saw that.
both the brides were like, I hated it.
Yeah.
But I get it, especially with them. Normal wedding,
The
very
pressure's
high
on, isn't
pressure.
it? Everyone's going to be judging
Oh,
everything.
it's exhausting.
all over
And everyone
them.
comes to you. It's like, you know, what do you? The wedding planner's like, what do you want? What do you like? Luckily, my husband's quite involved, but I imagine a lot of women are kind of left to just sort it out themselves.
probably.
So I get it.
And you
I get
end
it.
up like one thing can
Trying to please everyone.
One thing can knock you off.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel that no one should be getting into a debt for a hen do, obviously. But is there a package that can be put together that compromises on some things and brings costs down, but everyone like increases the excitement for it and up for it, and like you build something that absolutely will be memorable, and like it takes effort, but you can make something like memorable and special and one of a kind and personal to that person without it needing to be super expensive. You can do it. I believe you can. I've seen it done.
Mm-hmm.
Without like dampening the bride, being like, oh, we're only going to
Lucy's
do a
like,
small one for
"Tell
you.
Mum."
I'm going to tell mum it's you. We've all done it.
God. I don't know if we've helped.
I don't know if
she's
I've
all
helped.
right.
Yeah.
What we're thinking, honesty, the best policy? Are you going to
It's
rally
gonna
the
be-
troops?
Yeah,
I think so.
Rally the
I'm
troops.
getting her friends.
You're
Yeah.
doing a coup. You're doing a military coup. And I do think for our listener, we're on your side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
If you
You're
need
a financial go.
If
Obviously,
we
you're
get
on
his
your side.
days, also like
Scrap that.
no.
say,
But if you
oh, I
needed
tried to book, it's
validation,
full.
It's not a gift anymore if someone's told you to
Yeah,
do
what
it.
the
It's
hell?
just a
I
bill.
would never say to you, so you need to take us out on
Yeah.
a spa day.
as well as the Hen Do that you come in on,
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to
And
go
pay
on.
for mum, but she doesn't want to come. But
She doesn't want to be
book her on
touched.
anyway.
and then pay for my future husband's mum. No.
Bizarre.
What the hell?
She's lost the plot.
Oh God.
Show her Bride Wars.
Yeah.
Love that film.
Okay, community win time. I've had a big win today. I've paid off my student loan in full. I was getting demoralised with how much interest was being added every year, but now I feel very relieved that it's gone. I'll have an extra 9% of my payslip to play with each month. Now I can concentrate on overpaying my mortgage. Thank you, Financielle, for inspiring me to do this.
Woo! Nice little chunk going.
Student ones are so hard.
I know,
It's so
I know.
because like we've talked about this before. You know, there's so many reasons for and against paying off or overpaying your student loan. I know what we've always said is when we've spoken to people that have it within their grasp,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's something that's like an itch you just can't help but scratch. If it's
rid of
within
it.
your grasp and you see it being taken out your paycheck every month, and yes, you don't have to, and you can just do it at the rate they say. It's been massively high interest rates recently, and if it's the thing that's annoying you and it suddenly becomes within grasp, I get the temptation. It's not always a maths question. It's about how you feel. But at the same time, if you're someone with student loan and you think it's out of reach, that's okay as well, that this person has chosen to do it because it was right for them to do. You know, we're all different, but I'm really excited for like the future for someone to have just done it.
You just don't hear many of those very often
No.
anymore. Do you know the student like years
It's
ago
just
you
too
did?
hard.
Yeah.
You did years ago because it was
Yeah.
a lower amount.
Absolutely. And people, even then, it used to take people a long time, even
Yeah.
on good salaries as well. They'd finally be like, I've finally done it. Whereas
People
now,
typically wouldn't overpay though. That's
No.
the thing. Oh, well, again, in today's society, it's really weird to overpay debt.
Yeah,
Generally, people aren't paying off
We're
debt; they're
weird
just paying
here.
minimum payments. But usually you would just let it be taken out, and one day someone would go, "Oh, it's gone." Not many people go, "Oh, I could
I'm gonna
actually
do it."
give extra if I wanted to."
me and Neil both paid ours off towards the end when we did Financielle.
gets
We were
within
like,
reach.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, why? It was a few thousand, but we had it in savings, and it was that. Should we? Shouldn't we? Will it
Yeah.
will it get written off? It's a funny thing that we always talk about. Where a lecturer did actually say that to me, a finance one, hilarious. It was within grasp, if you like,
Yeah.
and it was let's just get rid of it. But then all that money then goes to me every month. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
You just
win.
don't hear those very often. Well done.
If you'd like to tell us your win, head to the community in the app or email it to thevault@financielle.com. Time for our next dilemma. Should I keep my rental property or sell up? First week as a Financielle girly, but I need some help as I feel my anxiety is clouding my judgment. I'm 26 and have worked extremely hard to get to where I am. I currently own 2 buy-to-let properties and 1 residential home, which I plan to convert into a buy-to-let next year. My residential home and one of my rentals are solid properties, and I have a great tenant in one. The issue is my second buy-to-let. It was a cheap purchase, and I've since learned the hard way that cheap doesn't always mean good. My tenant hasn't paid rent for 10 months, though thankfully I have rent insurance. But the bigger problem is the maintenance costs. I've spent nearly £6,000 on the property since 2022. Even though the survey didn't flag any major issues. It's also in a difficult area and type of building, so selling it won't be easy. My current tenant is leaving this month, and while the property still yields around £500 per month after mortgage and fees and even after tax, I'm torn on what to do next. I'm passionate about property and I take pride in maintaining high standards as a landlord. This industry is my world. I'm an estate agent and I love investing, but I don't want to take the wrong decision and end up back at square one. Should I re-let the property and keep the income, or cut my losses and sell it, even if it's difficult? Any advice would mean the world.
I'm here for this mogul at age 26
Yeah, I
with
love
this property
this.
portfolio.
Great dilemma.
Imagine building up at least the first lot of funds.
Yeah. And she's in the world like she's an estate agent
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Like it's giving selling
Selling sunset vibes, yeah.
I can't not picture people. I bet estate agents like hate that show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not like that. It's
That
real.
is not how it goes.
And I'm like, so there are loads of drama at the open houses.
Do you serve champagne at this open house? Or
She's like bought a 2-bed in Leeds. She's
yeah.
like, where's the caviar? And she's wearing like a skinny dress. I've got it all of it. Yeah, I'm here for it. she's done so well at obviously building momentum, whether it's saving up to separate deposits, whether it's refinancing. She knows the world really well. She's like not naive to it. And I think Holly always says this, like if they kind of probably know the answer when they message into us. I'm always conscious of the fact that people listening at home are like, if they've not got rental properties, they don't think this through. But I often get asked, Laura, you always say, get rid of the rental properties and you've got one. And I always feel like, I feel seen. But I do have one and I own it in my personal name, not in a company. In the UK, the benefits of owning a rental property have got less and less and less, like higher regulation, which I super support and I'm a big fan of. But the tax isn't great. Interest rates are also currently high. There is a housing shortage, and so rental isn't necessarily low. It's just this is a business, and I think that it's really sensible that she's coming at this from a business point of view. So this isn't like a monopoly. I'd love to collect lots of houses. Sometimes some houses are problem houses, some are dreams, and you're going to get that in a portfolio as well. I do, I speak to lots of people where they do have that
Not
balance.
all are going to be winners.
No, and so the 500 a month it cash flow in. She said it was a cheap property, so it doesn't sound like a bad yield at all, really, for what it essentially sounds like a cheap property. And this is after tax as well. So it is cash flowing, what was that, $6,000 a year after tax. And to a point, even if she was having to put $6,000 in the property every year, she's still not losing money on it and she's maintaining it. And the hope is that it's going up in capital value as well. So there's two reasons that you would want a rental property. You want to be able to earn cash off it. So income, it's like an income stream, but we hope that it's also going up in value. And so if I'm her, I'm looking at the market that she knows and going, was this a trigger happy? I can just about afford it. I'm going to get it. And really, it's just a bit of a waste of time. Or has she got over that hump and at some point it won't keep needing money? Like at some point you'll have kind of maxed out at when you've redone stuff and you've improved stuff, you're not going to have to keep doing it, but you'll know if it's going to be a money pit or not. You also sound like you don't really like it. You don't have to love it because it's a business.
It's a little bit tainted.
So it sounds like, is it she's got two properties and one's doing well effectively and cash flowing the £500 and the other one's the one where the
she's got two buy-to-lets, one residential.
No, the one that she's thinking of selling does cash flow 500 when they pay.
Right, okay.
Well, because she's got rental protection on it, and she's
So
what she's
okay
deciding is, and this is what she's got to think. So the next time she lets it, if it's a low quality of house, we inherently get a low quality of tenant. She has got rental protection on it though, and so she will include that in her expenses, and she's still making 500. So it's not setting the world on fire, but it's not awful.
It's just whether like the time, effort, headspace, life admin, is it worth $6,000 a year, or could you be making $6,000 a year doing something else that's maybe a bit more passive? Like, we all talk about diversification. She's seeing that as an investment property. Could she make more and be less stressed by investing the assets, by selling up, using the assets?
She doesn't sound, but and I would definitely agree with that. I think because she's kind of got this portfolio vibe, she's doing it anyway. The big thing for me, this is much more like Dad would like this question, because he'd be like, what else is this going to take? What else is good? What is this property going to suck up? Like, is it going to need X, Y, Z? Because if it was a cheaper property, but it's going to come with all these extra costs, you might want to go, made a bit of an error with that one. That one's coming out of the portfolio. You might go get a different one straight after.
It's like, do I want to cut my losses now or do I want to wait?
Oh, you might have already done the hard work with this one. You had a bad experience, which can sometimes knock us. If we've got a rubbish tenant, we're like, oh my God, like it's a nightmare. I don't like, but it doesn't necessarily mean the next one is. So yeah, I think we can't really answer it. Obviously, it's a good hypothetical dilemma for us to debate, and she probably knows what she wants to do. But if you're treating them like businesses, it doesn't sound like a massive hassle, if I'm being honest. It feels like a typical rental.
I think because she's in the industry as well.
Yeah.
She'll be much more clued up than other people on like what the rent should be. And if there's like good handymen that can help sort this, that and the other, she's in the right.
Yeah.
She's not like, I don't know, a beautician trying to work in the day doing that and then deal with houses and tenants and whatever.
She knows what she's doing.
she's in the
She's
loop.
got a few metrics that she'll look at. She'll look at whether how much more money it could well cost over the next 5 to 10 years, and factoring that into the money that it's cash flowing. How much is it likely to go up in value? Again, if it was already cheap to start off with, is it going to hit big heights? Or
Is there
again,
a ceiling and a cap?
if you were to sell it and you could redeploy that money either into another property or into the market or wherever, does that feel better to you, or do you think you get a better return? And then it's a business decision. But sometimes you have winners and losers in portfolios, and sometimes you have doing okay and not as good, and a loser you would want out your portfolio.
Yeah.
And doing all right, not too bad, ticks over. There might be more fees to get rid of it than to sell
Yeah,
it.
it might cost more. That's the most frustrating thing when tenants don't pay. Like, I had a friend that I used to work with, and he had a rental property, and literally someone was living in it for like well over 12 months not paying rent, and they had to go to court, and it was an absolute nightmare. Like, always be wary. And the insurance, landlord's insurance and rental insurance is a really good idea, and I would never even considered it. So if you're looking into
100%. Yeah.
getting a
And
portfolio,
again, that's what you factor in. Like, this is a business, and you do a P&L and you work out, okay, this is the income that I would be getting, the projected income. What are all the costs that I need to put in place to make this a viable business for me, whether it's like management fees in the middle, whether it's handyman fees and making sure they're in there because things will need, whether it's like gas safety, electrical safety, and these extra insurances for not just if they don't pay, there's the paying the rent. There's also like when the extra stuff that could go wrong that, I think that's a pain when it's your
Leaks,
house, but
floods,
when it's
roof.
a different house, you know, that you're not even in, and it could be damage that tenants have caused as well. It's not always a complete accident, and you have that issue. She sounds like she's well armed for this. For anyone else listening, it's definitely something to consider. You've not got rental payment insurance, get it.
But people always say like, oh, it covers the mortgage. And you speak to people, and sometimes they'll have a bit of a portfolio. They'll have a couple of houses, and you're like, oh, how'd you get on with that? And they're like, oh yeah, it covers the mortgage. And you're like, Laura's always like, yeah, but you have to do it as a P&L. Like, what other costs are associated with it? What are you getting out
If
of
it covers the mortgage, you're either not paying tax on it, and HMRC should know about that, or
it's a lot of hidden costs that you're just not taking into consideration to know whether it's a good investment or not so good one. You should sell up and do something else. But I just love, I love that she's like a property mogul in her mid-20s, female. It's fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Any final words today?
Oh, I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we
lot.
have.
I need an update on the
Hen
Hen
Do,
Do. Just
yeah.
need an update. The community deserves it. We're all desperate
I'd love to know what
know.
our property mogul would say to, would she go on the Hen Do?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm looking after my portfolio. Thanks.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm busy.
She's giving Christine.
Christine would go on the Hen Do though,
Yeah, she would.
with a really good outfit.
Yeah.
Christine Quinn, still selling Sunset, inside joke.
That's all for this episode. The Vault is now closing. Just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics. We are not giving financial advice.